Hello everyone, and welcome to the Influencer Barbie channel. We have Miss Barbie Roberts, and I am Barbie's assistant. My name is Beverly, and I am an adult Barbie enthusiast. Welcome to our Barbieverse. We create content for people who love all things Barbie as much as we do. Now, in a previous episode, I showed you some of the pieces that I have for my Barbie kitchen once I get the Barbie house set up. And I was really interested when I saw this Zuru MiniBrands Mini Minis Fill the Fridge collection that came out a few months ago. And I love this little refrigerator here, just this color of aqua green, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the different mini brands that we get in this collection, because I'm hoping that they will go nicely with the other kitchen food items that I have from the different Zuru mini brand sets and also MGA. But I'm also thinking that this refrigerator would go really nicely to do a Barbie kitchen on its own. And what got me thinking was, well, Barbie is 19, she is a fashion model, and maybe it's time for her to have her own place outside of the Roberts family house. So maybe I could do one kitchen for the Roberts family, one house for the Roberts family, and a separate house for Barbie. And this is a little bit I'm thinking very aspirationally for setting up not just one but two Barbie homes. But I think that this would be a lot of fun to do a kitchen for Barbie around this lovely aqua green shade that we have here. And I have noticed that, so here is the refrigerator for the Barbie kitchen that I already have, and it is actually rather close to the same size, at least at the same height as this MiniBrands refrigerator. But just since this MiniBrands refrigerator is so compact, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the smaller refrigerators that you see if you're staying in a hotel and it has a kitchenette, and it's kind of like you have a 3/4 sized refrigerator while you're on vacation. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe we would go with this smaller kitchen vibe for Barbie's home. Or maybe we figure out a way to raise that refrigerator up, and maybe even get two refrigerators that we could have for Barbie in her kitchen. So we'll see where that takes us with this MiniBrands refrigerator. So I thought I would open up the refrigerator and see these exclusive minis that we get inside, and also open a couple of the MiniBrands Fill the Fridge capsules today. So we'll go ahead and move this refrigerator back out of the Barbie studio. I have had these all here in my guest bedroom to open for a while, and we're finally getting around to that now. So I'm thinking, let's open the refrigerator first and see what we get, and then what we get with our capsules. And I believe that we are supposed to sometime soon, I hope, get more additions in this Magic Kitchen collection. So I'm looking forward to see if that does come about. And this refrigerator is actually kind of hefty. It feels pretty solid. I think that's because it has lights inside. but from what I've seen, it looks really nice, so we'll carefully open this up so that we don't damage the refrigerator. And I am using my tool here, but just a reminder to always have adult supervision if you are using sharp objects. There we go. Let's see if we can get this open. Okay, and I did not realize that this actually has an outer wrapper and an inner wrapper, very much like the Zuru capsules do. So we'll try to remove that as well. And it is wrapped with the plastic around these handles to the refrigerator and freezer part. So I'm trying to carefully unwrap it so they don't damage the handles. Okay, so I have a little bit of plastic trapped under the handles, but I'll go back later and pry that out. So here is the outside of our refrigerator. The style with it, as well as the color, reminds me a little bit of the Smeg line of kitchen appliances. And I noticed, so it's textured on the back to look like the coils from a refrigerator. And here is our battery package. I'm not certain if this comes with the batteries already included. I guess we'll find out. So we'll go ahead and open that up. So, and then we have some packages on the inside. Here we go. We have instructions and a collector's guide. It's very nice looking so far. here's the bottom. So we already have our shelves in the bottom part, and I think we get some shelves here that we're going to install. So it looks like we do have our batteries already included since it lights up when I open the door. So here are our instructions, and it shows what comes in here. I think this may be our other shelves. Yes, here we go. Okay, so our instructions show that we put the shelves into the refrigerator, and then we also get some shelves for the inside of the door. Okay, and it looks like there's one that specifically goes on the top. That's marked with UV on it. And then we put the other shelves into the inside of the door. Okay, and so all the shelves went in actually really easily. You just have to make certain that you are putting them in right side up. I was accidentally trying to put mine in upside down. So there we go. So we've got the drawers here and the freezer. And these all pull up really nicely. And then we have a little bin here in the bottom of the kitchen, or bottom of the refrigerator, so I guess we can put our fruits and vegetables in there, and then some different shelves, and our special UV shelf for the top where we can do any of the UV creating foods. Okay, and I thought this was a collector's guide, but this is actually a nice little guide that shows you what you can do with the refrigerator. So you get the bag of ice and the tiny little eggs that you can put in here on the top shelf inside our door here, and how the UV light works, and then it shows you another picture of the other items in the kitchen that we hope will be coming out sometime soon. And I hope all the pieces will be appropriate sizes for our Barbie dolls. And then it also shows instructions on how to make this little jello thing, which I think is going to be in one of these bags here. So we'll go ahead and open these up. And I can see a little bit through this bag of what we're getting. There we go. All right. So we get a cute little can of Olipop soda, and you can see the writing on it and the little barcode, and that is actually a really good size. Sometimes the drinks that we get from MiniBrands and the other sets are really huge for Barbies, but that looks like that is a good size for Barbie. And we get a scoop, so I think that will be for our ice. And then we get a magnet, and I think we're going to get a magnet for every capsule in this collection. But you can see that it actually sticks to our refrigerator because it is metal. So that will be really cute to have in the Barbie kitchen. So let's see what we got in our last bag here. Okay, so here, this is the little jello mold, and we have a resin and a little dome topper that we can put over it once it's finished. Move one of our capsules out of the way. And a nice set of tongs here. Those even look like something that we could use in the Barbie kitchen. And I did see someone who was using hot glue to make these little molds instead of the resin. And so if you have hot glue and you prefer to work with that instead of using the resin, that is an option. And carefully. So here is a plate and 3 little orange wedges that would go into our orange jello mold. I was actually looking at my local Walmart to try to find some different colors of hot glue that we could use for this, and my local Walmart only seems to have the clear and translucent hot glue, so I'm going to keep an eye out and see if we can find some hot glue for different colors so that we can make different kinds of jello for the Roberts family. Alright, so we'll go ahead and open these up, and I think this collection for the mini minis, the fill the fridge, is like the other Zuru MiniBrands surprise capsules in that there is not a code that you can use to try to figure out what you're getting inside. and that it's just kind of random. So we will cross our fingers and hope that we get some good items for the Barbie kitchen here. Okay, so here is our collector's guide, and we have 5 bags, and I don't remember, we had the yellow and we have the aqua green, and one is the branded and one is the non-branded items. So let's pull those out. And I do have a few items in mind that I would really like to get for the Barbie kitchen, so we'll see if we get lucky. Okay, so the yellow must be the branded because we have a stack of IHOP pancakes, and those actually look pretty good. So that will be something that Barbie and the rest of the Roberts family can have for breakfast. Okay, and then our aqua blue is the non-branded, so we get a bottle of water, and that is a good size for Barbie. It's one of the nice things about this mini minis collection is that it should be a little bit more closer to the 1/6 scale. Alright, yeah, I was hoping we would get one of these. This is a cooked lobster. I don't think I've ever seen a cooked lobster come in a package like this, but that is really cute and will look fun in the Barbie refrigerator. I'm actually looking forward to some of the non-branded items that can go in here. Okay, and here we have an oats jar, and I think, yes, so we can remove the top, and we actually have some pretty nice texture in here. The painting might be a little bit off for the blueberries and strawberries, but that is still going to look really nice in the Barbie refrigerator. We get a little barcode and other labeling. So we have 2 left. And we have a small bottle of Hershey's syrup. We've actually gotten this one before in previous Zuru capsules, but hey, you can never have too much chocolate syrup, in my opinion. Oh, and here is our little magnet at the bottom of the capsule. So we have a fried egg there. And then we have our last bag. And we get some Jell-O containers. Pretty nice looking with the nutrition labels and barcodes. But as we know, Barbie tries to eat healthy foods to keep that model figure. But she does have younger siblings as well as friends who might like a bit of Jell-O on occasion. And we'll open our second capsule. And here is our magnet in the capsule. And we have a little painting of a scene. And I will be happy to get just about anything in this set. Which one do I want to open first? Okay, here we have a frozen chicken. So, the texture's not exactly that realistic, but that will look really nice in Barbie's refrigerator. And we have a bottle of juice. It seems to have, I'm not certain if that's supposed to be things floating around inside or just its label there, but that will look cute with our bottle of water and our Olipop. Okay, and we have a jar of kombucha. I thought this was honey at first, but it's labeled kombucha. It does not seem to have the lid come off. Okay, and so these are yellow, so these should be our branded items. Okay, and we have some more Jell-O. So this time we have, I guess this is vanilla pudding to go with our Jell-O. Skipper and Chelsea and Stacy will have lots of snacks. And we have some oven roasted deli turkey. I don't know if this is just an empty box or if there's something in here. Carefully open that up. Okay, and that's just an empty box, so that was a bit disappointing. In one of our previous Zuru collections, we did get some pretty nice looking deli meats. I think it was more deli turkey, but it could have been ham. So it would have been nice to see something more like that for detail. And we have some Black Label Applewood bacon here. So, and while that's good, we did not get any duplicates. So this will be a nice beginning for the Barbie refrigerator. Let's see if we can fit these drinks in. This juice is actually a little tall to go in there. Okay, we can fit the juice in down here. We'll go ahead and put the syrup so it doesn't fall over. So we can put our beverages. Oh, and look, this nice detail on the can. We've got a little pop top and everything, as well as the label that's been printed. So that's really nice. Now, part of the reason that I wanted to get this aqua blue green refrigerator, in addition to the MiniBrands that come inside it, and do the Barbie kitchen around that color theme, I'll show you. We did a previous video, I'll put a link to it here, where we opened an MGA mixer that is very close to the same color, and I'm really looking forward to having that in the Barbie kitchen. And then also by MGA, we opened some of the baby food capsules, and I was able to get this adorable kettle, also sort of the same Smeg appliance theme to it. And so we've got that with the color theme, and one of the other capsules that we opened in the baby food has these little dishes in that same color. So even though this is Zuru for the refrigerator versus MGA for the other items, I think we do have a close color match here. So we'll have a theme going together with that. And with the Magic Kitchen, Zuru also has some small appliances that are in different colors. There are two, I think, with this aqua green color. There's a pasta maker and a toaster, which I've been looking for and have not found at my local Walmart, which my local Walmart doesn't always have the best selection and is kind of late in getting things because the Fill the Fridge collection had been out for a couple of months before my local Walmart got them in. So, but I'd like to get the pasta maker and the toaster so that we can have some more appliances of this aqua theme to put together a nice Barbie kitchen around a color theme to it, rather than a lot of the Barbie play sets tend to be all sorts of different colors, pink, orange, yellow, purple, sometimes even blue in there, but it would be nice to have a coherent decorating theme for that. Alright, so let us know in the comments what you think of this Zuru MiniBrands Mini Minis Fill the Fridge collection, and if you have gotten any of the items from this collection, if you're adding the refrigerator to your Barbie home, your Barbie kitchen, and which of the items that we got here in the capsules and refrigerator today were your favorites. And if you've picked up any of the other capsules and you have gotten some items that you really enjoyed. And I completely forgot we did not look at the collector's guide. So let's do that. So, that Baskin-Robbins ice cream would be nice. I know we've gotten quite a few other ice creams here for the Barbie kitchen, but Barbie and the Roberts family do love their ice cream. Okay, so here are the eggs, and I think this is sushi here, and this must be a cake or maybe a banana pudding that you put together, and the ice cubes. We do have some plastic beads that we've been using for ice, but that could be nice to add. And some more Olipop drinks. More Baskin-Robbins ice cream. Oh, here in our rare... Oh, okay, so maybe the box of the oven-roasted deli turkey seems to have been a rare, as is the Black Label Applewood bacon. So, okay. Oh, and the Jell-Os. Those are rare? Maybe that's a color coding that is supposed to be the rares. That's mini soy sauce would be nice, one that's actually the right scale. And we've gotten a larger Philadelphia cream cheese and Kraft singles in the past, so it'd be nice to get some that are the right scale for Barbie. And some Pizza Hut items. Milk would be nice. I'd love to get these broccoli florets. And I was really hoping we could get this eggplant as well. And so we do have our lobster. And I was hoping also to get the fish and the lamb chops. Those would be nice to have. And the magnets are cute, but what we could do even is you can buy magnetic sheets, and then you could glue this part of your collector's guide onto the magnetic sheet and then cut out any of the magnets that you wanted. So that would be a good crafting video for us to do. So and one of our executive producers appears to be commenting on my crafting idea. So yes, maybe let's do that in an upcoming crafting video. So, but that was what we've got here today, and so I'm thinking maybe we need to pick up a few more capsules and see if we can get some of those items that we did not get today in our collection. But I am glad that we didn't get any duplicates, although it could have been nice to have a duplicate of our sodas and water and things. So our executive producer, Miss Midnight, seems to be very talkative today. So anyway, let us know in the comments below what you thought of this collection. And thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to be part of our Barbieverse. And be sure to ring the notification bell. It really does help our channel to grow. And once we hit some subscriber milestones, we plan to have some fun giveaways. And if you'd like a chance of getting us and if you would like a chance of getting a shout out in an upcoming video, just comment below with the hashtag InfluencerBarbie. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in our next episode here in our Barbieverse. Bye-bye!